coffins. I've got a little graveyard in one side as well.
It sounds as though you said you got a graveyard in there.
Yes, I have.
You have? Wow.
So, yeah, earlier in the week, I was chatting about the fact that I felt like in the 90s and noughties, there was a lot more goths going around. They used to say there was a goth on every single high street. And in recent years, I feel like I've not seen
There's been a dearth. There's been a dearth of goths.
There has. There's been a goth dearth. And as a result, we found Cinzia, who was part of a brilliant article in the Guardian newspaper that we found from a few years ago, talking all about life as a goth. And we've got Cinzia with us on FaceTime right now. Good morning, Cinzia. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for having me and inviting me here. Thank you.
So this is brilliant because I was talking to Cinzia just now off air and I said, oh, you live in York. I've heard York is absolutely lovely. And Cinzia straight away went, yeah, it's the most haunted place in the UK, so it's perfect.
So they say.
Right. Is that why you ended up in York?
Well, it was actually a coincidence because for a period I was working in archaeology in a different field from university. So I came to work in York just for that reason. But I quite liked because it is actually the most haunted city. And also Yorkshire is actually the country where, like the region where goth come from. So some of the most famous band, and even my favorite band when I was a kid is from Yorkshire. So it was meant to be.
Now, so the room you're in at the moment is, I mean, there's a lot of the colour black and you're wearing entirely black as well. And you've got the black hair and you look absolutely brilliant, might I add. And so am I right in saying you haven't worn any colour other than black since you were about 13 years old?
Yes, actually, this is my most colorful room in the house.
Which is entirely black and white.
No, it's got paintings on the wall.
Oh, yeah, there's a bit, there's a bit of pink
so
there.
there's some colors. The other part is only black and white, I can tell you.
So the house is absolutely amazing. So every room is covered in skulls and black paint and memorabilia and stuff. And is it your downstairs bathroom that's your pride and joy? So what does that look like?
It's like a catacomb. That's what I got inspired for. I don't know if any of you ever been to Palermo, but basically if you go to Palermo down south in Sicily, you can go down to the catacomb, and it's a very goth experience because they actually hang the dead, like all the death body, and they find a way to preserve them so you can see all the skulls and everything just from. So when I was young, I went there and I thought, wow, that's really cool. So my dream was to recreate the same in my bathroom, and I did it. So yeah.
I love that Sicily is considered, one of the most beautiful places in the world, and you went straight to the catacombs to see dead bodies, basically.
Yes, basically that's it.
So obviously at the moment you're dressed, in all black, and you've got the face makeup on and the long black hair and stuff. Do you ever just have like a day where you just sort of sit in front of the TV in tracksuit bottoms and a t-shirt? Or do
it's black.
As soon as you're... Oh, but it's just black. Right, got it. It's really black. And finally, because we've got to get to the news, but your garden. So apparently your garden is something very special indeed.
Yes, I've got coffins, skeleton. I've got a gigantic skeleton, skulls everywhere. So sometimes, like, my neighbors asked me if they could take the kids around just for a trip of the garden, because I've got all the fairy lights and all of the, around all of the coffins. I've got a little graveyard in one side as well.
It sounds as though you said you got a graveyard in there.
Yes, I have.
You have? Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I imagine... The first time that neighbours looked over the fence and saw like they were like, should we call the police? Because there's a lot of skeletons. There's a lot of skeletons in this lady's garden.
I can't wait for the day when you try and sell your house and there's people coming around.
Yes, and the walls are all black.
The walls are all, of course they're
Yeah.
black. Everything's black.
Radio. The Chris Moyles Show.